On the news, suspended lawmaker Alfred Mbaga reinstated, elected Benue State House Speaker. NLC opposes planned pay rise for political office holders, urges a revenue mobilization allocation and fiscal commission to halt plan. And in the fight against terrorism, Nigeria's Defense Chief Christopher Musa charges African colleagues to invest in modern technology. Many thanks for joining News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Simsola Chikun. Let's kick off in Benue, where in a dramatic twist, the State House of Assembly has elected Alfred Mbaga, representing Makurdi North State constituency, as its new speaker, following the resignation of the former speaker Hyacinth Dajo, who stepped down on Sunday, August 24. Mbaga, who had led a group of 4 lawmakers in a bid to impeach the former speaker last Thursday, was among those suspended for 3 months on Friday, August 22. However, during an emergency meeting presided over by the Deputy Speaker Lami Ogenyi, the majority leader Sata Tisser moved a motion for the recall and forgiveness of the suspended members. The House also adopted Hyacinth Dajo's resignation letter and immediately moved to elect a new speaker. In his acceptance speech, Alfred Mbaga hailed his predecessor's courage in stepping down and pledged to lead with fairness, inclusiveness, and respect for diverse views, while preserving the Assembly's independence in its dealings with other arms of government. But the resignation of Hyacinth Dajo and Alfred Mbaga's emergence as the new Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly shortly after his suspension has sparked reactions, with observers describing the development as both politically dramatic and indicative of deeper tensions within the legislature. Let's get more reactions on the news. Political affairs analyst Franklin Onoben joins me to discuss further. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Onoben. Now, what are your thoughts on the recent developments in Benue State? Do you see Hyacinth Dajo's resignation on August 24, 2025 as a strategic retreat aimed at de-escalating tensions within the House?
All right, thank you very much for having me. It's like you described, political drama, which is not, uncommon with the Nigerian political scene. We all know that as we continue to build up towards 2027, there is a lot of political permutations and drama all over the country. And indeed, Benue State, which has been in the news in recent times for not the very pleasant of reasons, is also not left out. Before now, many people thought that the reverend gentleman who is the governor of the state may not be very political astute as to play the political permutations of as Nigerian politics deserve. But from what we are observing or witnessing in the legislative house, it seems like the governor is trying to pull his political weight. This is my reading of the situation. Because how else can one explain that someone who was just recently suspended or the speaker who was saved from impeachment and quickly suspended those who moved for that impeachment now resigned just 2 days after, only for the same person who was suspended to be called back and then reinstated or elected as Speaker of the House. I think we are seeing forces outside of the House playing their game, even though the governor has moved quickly to deny his involvement. But one cannot put this past, a bigger play in the picture. All
right, let's now shift to this swift reversal from suspension to speakership. Shortly after his suspension now in Alfred Mbaga's case, does this in any way undermine the credibility of the legislature?
Not necessarily. If anything, it shows that we can do things better, and I think this should be a lesson that Nigerian politicians should learn. For instance, if the speaker, if there's any discussion or any agreement that the speaker should give way for another person, I don't think impeachment should be the way to go. Because what impeachment does is that it says to the person who is being impeached that your colleagues no longer find confidence in you or have confidence in your leadership. It puts some sort of political or a dent on his political career. I think if better negotiations had been done behind the scene, they could have saved themselves all of this political drama. Because what discussions did they now have that have now prevailed on him to now resign, for the person who moved for the impeachment to now become elected as speaker? That conversation should have been had and tidied better for them to do things in a more amicable way than hitting up the polity or the situation with an impeachment notice or impeachment move that now has thrown the state that is still yet to recover from the numerous insecurity debacle that they are facing, to now add political drama to it. I think they should do things better, and that is my opinion for all Nigerian politicians.
No doubt, very interesting happenings in Benue State. Mr. Franklin Onoben, we truly appreciate your time. Thank you very much for talking with us. Away from Benue State, President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Brazil early on Monday for a two-day visit aimed at deepening Nigeria-Brazil relations. As part of his engagement, President Tinubu will meet with the President of the Brazilian Senate at the National Congress, the President of the Chamber of Deputies, and the President of the Supreme Federal Court. He will also participate in the Nigeria-Brazil Business Forum as part of a packed program in Brasilia on Monday. President Tinubu's agenda will focus on boosting cooperation in aviation, agribusiness, livestock security, trade, and cultural exchange with Latin America's largest economy. Meanwhile, the wife of the president, Oluremi Tinubu, has officially launched the Southwest edition of the Renewed Hope Initiative Women Empowerment Program, announcing that a total of 18,500 women nationwide would benefit from the scheme. The flag-off ceremony held over the weekend at the governor's office in Alausa Ikeja, Lagos, attracted top government officials, state first ladies, women leaders, and hundreds of beneficiaries. She also emphasized the initiative's alignment with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, particularly SDG 5 on gender equality and SDG 8 on decent work and economic growth. TV360's Victoria Konde completes the report.
The event featured the simultaneous distribution of empowerment tools to 500 women in each of the 6 southwest states: Ekiti, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, Oyo, and Lagos. In the nation's commercial hub, 500 pre-selected beneficiaries received various items, including deep freezers, maxi gas cookers with ovens, generators, and industrial grinding machines. Addressing the gathering, Remi Tinubu stated that the initiative was aimed at equipping women with the tools and resources needed to start or grow their businesses, thereby enhancing household incomes and contributing to national development.
This empowerment will benefit 18,500 women across the country's 6 geopolitical zones. Since the initial launch of this program on 21st February 2025 in Abuja, we have successfully distributed empowerment items across all the states in the North Central and South zones. Today, 500 pre-selected women beneficiaries in Lagos State and other Southwest states will be provided with items such as deep chest freezers, maxi gas cookers with ovens, generators, and industrial grinding machines to support them in starting up or growing their existing businesses. These items will be distributed by the state first ladies, RHI state coordinators in the Southwest zone. By the grace of God, the Northwest zone will be the next beneficiary.
While commending the First Lady for a decades-long dedication to women and children, Governor Sanwo-Olu describes the ceremony as a historic occasion that showcased the transformative power of investing in women. He says the program aligns with Lagos State's agenda, seeing women as drivers of growth, not just beneficiaries.
On behalf of the people and government of Lagos, I want to thank you again. Thank your entire entourage, especially the wife of our Vice President, Ajanana Shetima, and all of the people that have joined you on this journey. We do remember that every soul and every heart that you have touched here is a recognition of what you truly stand for. We pray that God Almighty will continue to strengthen you, to crown all the labor with impact, and to keep you as a model of our nation, whose name will forever be inked in the life of those who have lived and who you have lifted. We will equally ensure that this initiative is supported with structures to help that through this skills development, mentorship program will push and the leakages will be wider, will create a wider opportunity. We want to assure you that we're not just going to make this a final call. You have used this to energize us, and will ensure that we go round in all nooks and crannies of our state and we push it forward, and will ensure that even people that are not here in subsequent one were able to reach them.
This noble gesture is not just about economic empowerment, it is about restoring dignity, giving hope, and equipping women to unlock their full potentials. When women are empowered, families are strengthened, communities are uplifted, and societies thrive indeed. Women remain the solid pillars of their homes and indispensable contributors to national growth and development.
The First Lady noted that the program, launched in February in Abuja, has already reached women in North, Central and South zones, with the Northwest next in line. Victoria Akonde, TV260 News, Lagos.
In other stories, the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has urged the federal government to suspend plans for an upward review of remuneration packages for political office holders across the country. In a statement signed by its president, Joe Ajaero, the union demanded that the current earnings of all political office holders must be made public. It also insisted that the benchmark for the proposed review must be disclosed, warning that the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission should put the exercise on hold. The NLC argued that the plan would only fuel desperation for political office, making it a sanctuary for wealth making instead of a platform for service and sacrifice, describing the proposal as insensitive, unjust and inequitable. The union warned that it will deepen the already wide inequality between civil servants and political office holders and further impoverish millions of Nigerians who have been classified as multi-dimensionally poor. On security, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has advocated the use of artificial intelligence in the fight against terrorism on the African continent. While speaking at the opening of the Africa Chief of Defense Staff Conference held in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, on Monday, Musa advised his African colleagues to invest in AI to detect terrorist groups like Boko Haram, ISWAP, Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab. He says due to the evolution of security threats in Africa, it is imperative to seek a digital solution to defeat some of the invisible enemies threatening the territorial integrity of nations.
Africa stands on the edge of unprecedented opportunity, driven by a vibrant youth population, vast resources, and a spirit of innovation. Yet, this promise is challenged by a complex and evolving spectrum of security threats. From the scourge of violent extremism and terrorism to the menace of transnational organized crime, piracy, and the insidious impacts of climate change on conflict, these challenges recognize no borders. They are hydra-headed, resilient, and demand a response that is equally dynamic, unified, and strategic. The choice of the theme of this summit, combating contemporary threats to regional peace and security in Africa, the role of defense collaboration, is both timely and pertinent. It captures the urgent need for a united action in addressing the complex and evolving security challenges confronting our continent. Consequently, this gathering offers us a rare opportunity to forge a unified front. It is a platform to harmonize our doctrines, strengthen interoperability, and build enduring trust among our defense institutions. We must therefore seize this opportunity to craft a new architecture of African-led security cooperation. As host nations, Nigeria is deeply committed to the ideals of regional stability and continental defense integration. Our armed forces have consistently contributed to peacekeeping operations, counter-terrorism efforts, and humanitarian missions across Africa. We believe that true security is not achieved in isolation. It is built through shared intelligence, joint training, and coordinated action. Nigeria stands ready to work with our brothers and sisters across the continent to develop frameworks that are proactive, resilient, and responsive to the realities of our time.
We'll take a short break. Still to come on News Now. Cambodia passes law to revoke citizenship of people convicted of treason. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our main stories. In a dramatic twist, the Benue State House of Assembly has elected Alfred Mbaga, representing Makurdi North State constituency, as its new speaker. This follows the unexpected resignation of former Speaker Hyacinth Dajo on Sunday, August 24. Mbaga's emergence as speaker follows his attempt a few days ago to remove Dajo as speaker. We also told you that the Nigeria Labour Congress has urged the federal government to suspend plans for an upward review of remuneration packages for political office holders across the country. The NLC argued that the plan would only fuel desperation for political office, making it a sanctuary for wealth making instead of a platform for service and sacrifice. And just in case you missed any of our news bulletins, so for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on X, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Time for business news. Joy Uchejim has the latest. Over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Simi, and welcome to Business News. Now, Nigeria's leather industry is poised for significant growth, with the newly commissioned Lagos Industrial Leather Hub projected to generate over 387.5 billion naira in annual export earnings and create 10,000 jobs within 3 years. Located in Matori, Mushin, the state-of-the-art facility was unveiled by the wife of the president, Oluremi Tinubu, who describes it as a landmark investment set to revolutionize leather processing and footwear production. Correspondent Faith Joseph has the details.
Is set to significantly boost the capacity of micro and small medium enterprises, while positioning Lagos as a hub for global standard leather production. According to the First Lady, Leather Works, one of the Nigerian oldest crafts, hold immense potential for global competitiveness if given the right infrastructure.
Indeed, Lagos has always been a trailblazer, and this project further reinforces the state's reputation as the heartbeat of innovation and enterprise in Nigeria. This project is in line with the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR to accelerate diversification through industrialization, digitalization, creative arts, manufacturing, and innovation in order to create a dynamic and diverse economic landscape. Leatherwork is a traditional craft that has stood the test of time. I am informed that this hub will serve as a center for leather processing, footwear production, and specialized training, enabling artisans to add greater value to their craft and compete confidently in both local and international markets.
In his remarks, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu declares that the Leather Hub will serve as a strategic launchpad for Nigerian economic devastation.
We believe that what we're doing here will create about 10,000 direct and indirect jobs in the next 3 years, with over 70% will be reserved for women and the youth. More than 150,000 artisans nationwide will benefit from the cutting-edge training and the startup support, ensuring that no talent will be left behind. We'll expect that it will promote the export market. We'll see over the next couple of years, export of over $200 million will be projected annually from this hub when it becomes fully operational, and it will help to position Lagos as the leather hub, logistics hub in West Africa.
And to reposition critical sectors of our economy. Through his foresight and tireless commitment, what began as a vision has today become a reality before our eyes. Sitting at the heart of Maturi Industrial Estate in Mushin, this facility is far more than bricks and mortar. It is a living testament to our resolve to transform the leather and footwear industry into a vibrant, competitive, and globally recognized sector. For decades, our leather artisans, shoemakers, and bag designers have displayed remarkable talent and resilience, often under very difficult conditions. Today, those limitations are being replaced with limitless opportunities. This purpose-built state-of-the-art hub is equipped with modern leather processing machinery, footwear making technology, shared production spaces, and fully functional training rooms.
Governor Sanwo-Olu says the project will benefit over 150 artisans through specialized training and startup support to boost productivity and innovation, with women and young people making up to 70% of workforce in its early years. Faith Joseph, TV360, Lagos.
Still in the world of business, in a landmark achievement, Premium Trust Bank has announced that it has met the Central Bank of Nigeria's 200 billion naira minimum capital requirements for national commercial banks ahead of the March 2026 deadline. The milestone was achieved through a successful capital raise via rights issues and private placements approved by the CBN as part of the ongoing banking sector recapitalization exercise. The accomplishment underscores Premium Trust Bank's exceptional financial strength and positions the three-year-old lender as a dominant player in Nigeria's banking industry. Since its inception in 2022, the bank has consistently set new benchmarks in financial performance and customer satisfaction, establishing itself as one of the country's fastest-growing financial institutions. Commenting on the achievement, Managing Director and CEO Emmanuel Emefienim described it as a watershed moment for the bank. We'll now go on a short break and be back with updates from the stock market.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the GoTo app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Corruption not in my country.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
My name is Alero. I am not sick. I just need you to help put your stamp on this medical report. I want to tender it at my office as a sick leave. I'll pay 10,000 naira.
Ma'am, that is impersonation. I'm not a doctor.
Oga, be like say this English no go pay. I go increase the money to 20,000 naira. I beg. You know, if I give you that 20,000, as you wide, so you know, if it still help your condition more. So you don't say you spread well.
As I spread like virus, I'll be.
You talk.
Come out! If person come to your hospital, talk to make you give a fake medical report, make you go take collect sick leave. Talk and say no, not corruption. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Welcome back. It was a strong start to the week on Nigeria's equities market as investors rose the momentum from last week's positive close and the bulls kept the energy up. The NGX opened the week in the green, notching up by 0.31% on Monday. Leading the charge was Julius Berger Nigeria, climbing a solid 9.93% to close at 146 naira 10 kobo. And right on his heels was QTix, also making impressive gains. Now, in terms of activity, the day wrapped up with over 589 million shares traded across 33,304 deals, pushing the total market value to over 11.2 billion naira. Meanwhile, in a mixed bag globally, over in the U.S., Wall Street's main indexes gave up some ground. The Dow Jones slipped after strong gains last week, dragging the mood a little. But elsewhere, several select global markets saw a positive run, with investors holding steady amid shifting economic signals. And finally, a quick look at the forex scene. The Naira saw a mild uptick in the parallel market, trading at 1,545 naira to the dollar, 2,125 naira to the pound, and 1,810 naira to the euro. And that's your business and stock market update. Back to you for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Joy. And on the foreign scene, Cambodian lawmakers have approved legislation granting the government authority to strip citizenship from individuals accused of colluding with foreign powers. The law passed on Monday allows authorities to revoke citizenship from anyone convicted of conspiring with foreign countries, undermining national interests, or engaging in actions that threaten Cambodia's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and security. The measure was adopted by an overwhelming majority in the 125-member National Assembly, where the long-ruling Cambodian People's Party holds near total control. Only 5 lawmakers voted against it. And on sports, Angola has reclaimed its place at the top of African basketball, defeating Senegal 82-70 in the final of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket Championship to win its first continental title in over a decade. The victory, cheered on by a passionate home crowd at Luanda's Kilamba Arena, marked Angola's record-extending 12th AfroBasket Championship win. Head coach Josep Claros lauded his players' resilience and discipline, commending their focus and determination throughout the tournament. And that's it on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.